All right, working with the art project. The fish are pretty much done, and I've got the pick guard, and I've got a Taylor T3B humbucker in it that I had. I had a Taylor T3B, and when I bought it, one of the adjustment screws was a little tight, so I reached out to Taylor. They sent me a new humbucker, which I put in the guitar, and I have this one. It's essentially brand new. The one screw is a little snug, but it works. So I've got that, and I'm going to wire it up, hopefully, to a 920D single volume push-pull. And that comes already pre-wired, the wiring harness. And the snag not a snag, but a little issue I had to deal with was normally the holes in the body for the wiring to the output, it's just a small, maybe like not even a 1/4 inch hole to run the wire through. But this is all wired already with the jack on it, so I had to diligently and courageously bore a hole through where that hole existed. So I used a 7/8 of an inch wood boring bit and very carefully tried not to hit the body with the bit, bored it out, and it worked. So it fits through okay now. I did take a little nick on the back and a scratch from having it clamped down. I had a cloth over it, but it did still get a little scratch on it. But this was a blend body from Warmoth, so it had a couple little flaws in the paint. So not a big deal. It's kind of an experimental guitar. So I'm going to put the super wide neck on it, which has I mentioned previously in the other video, 1.872 inch wide nut. So it's kind of an experiment. I've never used a super wide before. So that'll be the neck for that one. And I gave it a couple coats. I bought it unfinished. So I sprayed it, I think it was like 3 coats of clear on the maple. And that'll take care of that. So hopefully I got the soldering figured out here on this. I contacted Taylor. They didn't have any diagrams for their wiring, but they said it's essentially the same as a Seymour Duncan. They normally have a little plug on the end, which I took off. And I'll have to just strip the wires and solder them up according to the Seymour Duncan sequence here. And hopefully things will work. The original 920D wasn't real informative. It only shows three wires, and this one's got 5. So I'm gonna have to keep my fingers crossed here, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, got the wiring soldered up, I think, properly between the Seymour Duncan illustration that's available on their website and 920D. Keeping my fingers crossed. I don't do well with wiring, but we'll see how it works. Got the tremolo installed. I'm going to drop this in and keep my fingers crossed. That's all I can do. Okay, going to do a quick test on the pickup, and just going into the amp, and both are good. Do the pull up, and the lower one is off, and the neck is on single coil, so that works. So the wiring worked out. Yay! The jack was a little tight, so I might take a look at that, see if I can loosen that up a little bit. But other than that, everything's working. Okay, the fish art experiment is finished. Probably should call it the aquarium, but again, it was just an art project. This was a B-stock body from Warmoth, and I think it was like $245. And I had the leftover humbucker laying around, Taylor T3. So figured I'd experiment with a super wide neck, and everything works, which I'm happy for. Because when I get soldering and wiring and that's my weak point. Everything else is pretty just screwed together, but so it came out okay. This is just going through a Vox AV60, and this is the humbucker. Excuse my lousy playing. Split. Volume. And I'll run through a pedal. It's a slower, Walrus Audio is slower, set on whatever, I don't know, rain. I just run through a couple of, it's still the split. Go to humbucker. So yeah, everything's on 12 noon on the amp, but it works. I'm happy it works. Anyway, that's it for this one, folks. Came out okay, and it works. So that's another victory. But thanks for dropping in, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you at the next go around.